Thank you for listening to this introduction to the Tibetan Buddhist meditation practice called Tonglen, Tonglen. Tonglen means sending and receiving, or sending and taking. May all the suffering of all beings come upon me, and may they have all my joy and happiness. This is the prayer that Tibetans chant, and it really has always reminded me of Jesus' selfless life and words. Tonglen, literally known as sending and taking, is an integral part of Mahayana mind training. Some Westerners balk at the practice as they tend to try to take it too literally, and it scares them. They don't see it for what it actually is. So that's what I'm here to help explain today and walk you through, to give you some practice with this beautiful meditation tradition. What Tonglen really is a way of transforming our recalcitrant, hardened hearts into hearts softened by love and empathy. My suggestion is, don't be afraid of it. Rather, regard Tonglen initially as an advanced mind training technique to be used as a way of increasing your capacity for unconditional love, generosity, and openness of heart. When you are ready to undertake such a selfless practice, Tonglen awaits you. Tonglen is not taught with the idea that practitioners should take on diseases and become ill. It's taught as a way to open up and reverse our conditioned habits of clinging to desired circumstances and aversion to whatever is unwanted. Tonglen, the taking on burdens without feeling burdened, is a lesson in letting go of self-clinging and attachment, transforming egotism into love. For centuries, the learned practitioners of Tibet have used sending and taking as a way of freeing up, loosening up, dissolving the barriers between self and others by transforming self-centered attitudes. Tonglen helps change your point of view, and in the process, change the entire atmosphere around you. Tonglen actually works. Tonglen meditation, exchanging oneself for others. One is asked to approach this sending and taking meditation with an attitude of extraordinary compassion and love for all. Think about the suffering in the world. Wouldn't it be wonderful to be able to take that pain and convert it to happiness, health, and well-being? Wouldn't it be a worthwhile thing if you could open your heart, accepting suffering and being able to transform it into love and goodness? Let's do it now. We start by accepting our own being. Many teachers recommend that we begin the practice of sending and taking with ourselves. To do this, simply consider yourself as having two parts. One part is loving and compassionate. The other part needs love and compassion. Envision yourself being able to send love, care, acceptance, kindness back to your own being. I highly recommend that you begin your sending and taking practice with thoughts of your own being, your life, and your journey. When trying to generate compassion for all beings, it is essential to remember that you are one of them. You have to be strong, confident, and accepting of yourself before you can begin accepting others. Use Tonglen to forgive yourself for the things about which you feel guilty, inadequate, or responsible. use Tonglen as a spiritual healing and return to wholeness and wellness through this soulful healing practice. As Lao Tzu said, when you accept yourself, the whole world accepts you. In practicing this, we begin by taking a deep breath in through our nose, pausing at the top of the breath, and exhaling slowly. As we do this, imagine now that you are breathing in those parts of yourself that have been challenging to accept. Breathing in guilt and breathing out to yourself forgiveness. Breathing in shame. And breathing out relief and sympathy. Breathing in pain that you've experienced and carried. And breathing out love and acceptance. Beginning to feel softening around your heart with every out-breath. Noticing how human you are. One part loving and compassion, and the other part, no matter what it's made of, needing love and compassion to heal. As your heart begins to soften, accepting more about yourself, you can begin to extend your love and acceptance to others. After your heart is beginning to be warmed with love, extend in your mind the circles of beings for whom you feel love and compassion. Begin with those who are closest to you. Your family, your parents, children, friends. Breathing in that warmness in your heart and breathing out that same love and compassion to the people who are closest in your life. Gradually practicing in order to extend that circle until you're able to encompass strangers, even enemies. Finally, as your heart warms and grows, practicing extending your circle of compassion until you feel that all beings in the world are soothed and healed by the tenderness and openness and love in your own heart. You can go at any pace, but know that the depth and breadth of Tonglen is infinite, inclusive, and able to be extended to all sentient beings. As your heart softens and grows strong in its light and love and compassion, that's when you can really begin to exchange happiness and love for suffering and pain. Begin your Tonglen practice by relaxing and centering yourself. Return to yourself. Come home to the present moment. Start this practice with the calm, beautiful breath always available to you. Just for a moment, feel that radiant light that you are, pure essence, being itself. Perhaps gazing into the sky, becoming aware of emptiness. Internally, you can sense that everything is empty like a dream. But it's not like an empty room. It's sparkling like a sunlit day, and the sun, its energy and light are filling all of the space. Awaken to ultimate presence and dissolve in the luminous emptiness of the moment that is now. Open your mind and heart to the infinite, boundless expanse, almost startling yourself into total wakefulness. Enjoy this natural, great perfection, this internal sense, things just as they are. Drawing inward, begin to ride on the wave of your moving breath. Life itself moving through you as you. In Tonglen practice, we follow our breath. Ride the in-breath through your body into your heart. Ride the out-breath out of your body through your heart. Concentrate your mind. Follow the inhalation moving through your body. Follow the exhalation moving outward, extending your body into the world. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out through your nose. Accepting the in-breath, easily letting go of the out-breath. No need to be stingy. Take it all in. Breathe it all out. Let it flow. There's no reason to hold anything back. As you continue to breathe, begin visualizing that you're inhaling darkness, like smog. Bring it in, hoovering it up like a giant vacuum. But don't worry, you're not getting stuck with this darkness. You hold the breath for just a moment, letting everything dissolve, allowing that light in your heart to soften, loosen, clean it up. Everything is resolved in the spacious, clear awareness of your heart, mind. Then exhale, visualize all that smog streaming out of you as shining bright light. You are exhaling light, like sunlight and cool, fresh breezes. Encountering your own abilities. Meditate on the interwoven, sending and receiving, and begin receiving with yourself. The practice truly begins when we're able to inhale our own conflicting emotions, our own negative karmas, our own difficulties, our own sins. A moment of transformation. And then exhale, visualizing all of this negativity riding out as a breath of extreme happiness, joy, pure delight, and openness. Continue inhaling and exhaling, riding the breath as you generate empathy with the problems of the world, your world and everyone else's. Inhale all the darkness, disease, despair. May all the difficulties, doubts, and fears in the world be absorbed into the empty, pure nature of my mind. Exhaling, filling the world with light. May all beings have all my happiness, faith, and fearlessness. As we think, so we become. The Tonglen practice is done in the hope of healing our own attitudes and restoring ourselves to wholeness, as well as healing and restoring everyone in the world. Tonglen helps train us to be genuinely present with difficult situations and to bring more enlightened principles into our daily lives and practices without excessive reactivity. We practice Tonglen and we can change the entire atmosphere. We can loosen up and dissolve the dualism of light and dark, good and bad, positive and negative, wanted and unwanted circumstances and people. We take in the bad and we give everything away as desirable. We do this as an exercise of generosity, transcendence, and non-attachment. When you're first starting your practice, you may have some difficulties as you try to visualize giving away all your advantages, assets, and delights to people that you might dislike or disapprove of, and even to people that you care about. But over time, as you practice opening and softening your heart, this will change. As you explore your inner resources, you will discover that you have an abundance, more positive resources than you can possibly imagine. Like the sun itself, you give light because you can. You give light because it's simply what you do. There's so much light inside that it must come out. It must be shared. It must be squandered. Reach into the infinite spiritual richness of your innately compassionate and wise mind and heart, breathing in the suffering of all beings and sending out love and compassion. Thank you for allowing me to introduce you to this beautiful practice of Tonglen today. May you continue to practice. May you continuously open your heart to yourself and others. Thank you for allowing me to be your guide today. Namaste.